Welcome back to Migmatisgolf, everybody. Channel dedicated to everything a bit outside la boîte in golf. So today it's another tips and tricks video, and we're going to discuss that favorite topic of shallowing the shaft or shallowing the arc of your swing on the way down. Okay, most slicers, hackers, whatever you want to call them, they all have a move what is deemed over the top. Sometimes it's hard to define what's coming over the top. Is it the club head? Is it the hands? Is it the shoulders? It doesn't really matter. All that matters is that the club is coming on a too steep of angle into the ball and generally swiping across it for a right-handed golfer, right to left. Creates weak shots, not much compression, slices, banana balls, all that stuff. So there's a lot of different swing theories out there about how you should start your transition. And if you go back over the years, they've changed dramatically. I would argue that now, 2021, the preference seems to be on a rotational kind of downswing, more of a kind of squatting move with the shaft laying down like this. Whereas maybe in the 80s and 90s it was more of a hip bump that dropped the hands in shallow. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All you're trying to do is get this thing shallow into the back of the ball. So, a different way of feeling what to do, and if you watch a lot of the pros, especially from above them. So sometimes you see that view from above and behind them, which is an unusual view to watch of a golfer. You normally always see them face on or down the line. That one is you get a better sense of what this trail arm is doing, right? And now you got to be careful in golf instruction, because a lot of people will they'll have a swing theory and then they'll choose videos to match their swing theory. But I've watched a lot of these videos from above recently, and almost all of the pros trail arm goes this way in transition. So if this was a bicep curl, you see how I'm curling it up, curling it down. Well, almost none of them leave it like this and then turn, because as you can see, the butt end of the club just comes out. Most of their hand, their right hand, their trail hand, moves down, not even towards the ball, it moves down. If I was set up here and this was kind of like a line from my hand at the top of the swing to the ball, well, their hands move in a steeper line down like this. This arm unfolds. Watch it from this angle. Okay, from this angle, this arm doesn't go like that. This hand doesn't go towards the ball like has been taught. Okay, it unfolds and it goes back behind them slightly. Do you see that? It's here and it doesn't go towards the ball. Certainly doesn't go that way. It goes back that way and down. Now that might be counterintuitive because you've been taught to keep the angles and release them late and all that stuff, but that doesn't shallow the shaft or shallow the plane of the club. So how can we get a good feeling of how to achieve that? Okay, the instinct once you get to here is almost always to turn the shoulders back towards the ball. But really, what you want to do is have this split second where this arm starts to unfold and go away from you. So creating width, like this. Getting shallow. So here's the bit you've all been waiting for, how to achieve that. How to get a feeling for this arm going away from you that way and dropping before you start the shoulders turning and all of that stuff. Well, you could think of you could think of bowling or an underhand toss, right? Quite often people talk about a sidearm throw, but what would you do if you wanted to roll a ball along the ground? If I was here and I wanted to roll this ball along the ground, I wouldn't do that. I would go, right? I would get this arm to here straight and then roll it. That's almost the feeling you need. But having tried that, it's still not good enough feedback to do this before the shoulders turn. So I discovered, and I'm going to use the side of this door here so you can see on the camera, but imagine this is a wall. Imagine this is a wall. So I'm here taking my backswing. I get to the top of my backswing and my trail hand is against this wall here. What I want to do is I want to feel like I am pushing myself away from the wall with that back of that hand. And you see how I get a little hip bump here, little hip bump, right? So everything you want, little bump to the left before you start turning, because you want to achieve two things in the swing. When you set up to the ball, the club is behind the ball, but you don't want the club to return fully unhinged where you set it down at address. You want it to bottom out about 4 inches in front of the ball. So at some point we need to get the bottom of the arc slightly ahead of the ball to get good compression, ball then turf. And you want that to happen from a shallow approach into the ball. So not only does pushing against this wall start this move of shallowing the club, but it also gives you the sensation of pushing your lower body out. So if the club was to line up with my left arm at impact, there it is at address, there it is after I've pushed away from the wall. Now ahead, 4 inches ahead of the ball. So try that. Try going to the top of here against a wall and just doing this, unfolding this bicep curl here, unfolding it to push your hips to the side. That's what you want to achieve. That's kind of like the first move before you start any spinning of the shoulders. You can see at the beginning of the video in the super slow-mo the two examples I've given you side by side, where one is me just kind of like thinking about firing my upper half at the ball, and the other one is me consciously unfolding this arm first before I fire around. And you can see, like on the one where I consciously unfold this first, as I get to here, kind of halfway down, the club is traveling much more kind of like in line with this forearm here. More of this look as opposed to that look. That's it. That's all I've got to say about that. Give it a try. It's just another way of figuring out or getting a feeling for shallowing that club. Try it. Hopefully it stops you hitting those banana balls. All right, that's it. Sorry it's been a while since I put a video out. This coronavirus thing is really cramping my style when it comes to productivity. I've actually been busier under Corona than I've ever been before, with very little time to make videos. So apologies for that. I will try and rectify that situation, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and tell all your friends about the channel, all that good stuff. All right, see you later, peeps.